Hey, it's the Rooster, Bobby Leach for the TimesWeekly.com, coming to you live for Cheap Seats alongside my partner here, Big Tone.
Hey, Times Weekly Cheap Seats, new year, here we are, once again.
They can't get rid of us, man.
Can't get rid of us, those two wild idiots over here in Romeoville can't get rid of us.
Well, hey, listen, man, there's a lot that's taken place over the last, 6 to 8 weeks in the world of football, and a lot of cool stuff, it was really nice over the holidays, man, to catch all those bowl games. And it was even cooler to see a lot of the players that we've covered in the past playing those bowl games. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about the Orange Bowl right out of the gate. I mean, Northern Illinois making it to the Orange Bowl. I mean, who would have thunk it, right?
Is there somewhere down at the bottom level of the house that froze it over? Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
The MAC conference going to the... Oh, my God.
It's funny. I mean, I was thinking, here it is, you're playing in maybe the biggest game of your life, and talk about a Goliath in David's story, I mean, that's just, it's just amazing that Northern was able to get down there. But, we got a lot of players. We got two players from Romeoville. Both of them were teammates, and Cameron Stingley and Perez Ford. And although, I didn't get to see Stingley play. Honestly, I don't think he actually got in there. I don't know if he did or not. I watched the game, and I don't remember seeing him. But they moved Stingley from defense to offense, so now he's on the, he's going to be a running back for the Huskies. And then you got, Perez Ford, who came in as a running back, and they switched him to defense. Now he's going to play defensive end for him as a freshman. So, I mean. But kudos to all those kids that are out there, and it just goes back to saying what we said before. It really doesn't matter what your high school season record was.
Yeah.
It's all about, what you do with the next step. And, Stingley, to his credit, I think the Romeoville, his senior year was 5-4. That was under Coach Kuna. 5-4 was a good season for them.
It was probably the best season in the last, 10 years,
right,
maybe?
Right. I think it was the only season in the last 10 years that they've had a winning season. And, and then Perez Ford, I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of luck either, winning a state title or even making the playoffs for that matter. Mm-hmm. And here you got two kids side by side from the same small town of Romeoville, Illinois, playing in, the Orange Bowl.
Romeoville, Illinois, playing in the Orange Bowl. Huh?
I mean, that's I don't know. I mean, I thought that was pretty spectacular. It was fun to watch. In fact, incidentally, there was a little scuffle during that game, on the opening kickoff. And Perez, I don't know if many of you have played against him or if you've seen Perez Ford, but he's a big dude. He is one big cat, man. Mm-hmm. And, I don't know. I guess there was a little scuffle, and Perez got flagged for a 15-yard, I'm in defensive you kind of thing.
What you got to do, right? Coming to aid to his teammate, you got to give him that, though.
Right. So, and, another local was interesting was Mike Yurovich from University of St. Francis. I mean, he was the head coach there for 7 years, and this is the first year he transferred. He becomes an assistant over at Northern, and then I find out that the head coach at Northern and Mike are now going to North Carolina State. So 1 year there, he gets to play in the Orange Bowl, and one season, and now he's going to be coaching, I think, offensive line for North Carolina State. So. A lot of local tie-ins, to the bowl games, which always makes it a lot more interesting to watch them. There were some great games. I mean, I did get to see my favorite game. I should pull out my Bolingbrook stuff.
Oh, Jesus!
Hey, I gotta say though, that one of the Raiders just had a great game.
Oh, from the Brook, Antonio Morrison.
Yeah, Antonio Morrison, man. Hey, he had a great game, dude. I mean. He was laying the smack down.
He's a bad shut your mouth. He's a bad shut your mouth kind of guy,
Yep. He plays a little bit of swagger. And,
yeah, he does.
He brought all that. I mean, it's just been his personality, but he's a sweetheart kid, and he really is. He's a good person all the way around. But I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of an Antonio Morrison smackdown because I mean he can lay the smackdown. So and he's done it. I guess he started 4 games this season. That's pretty impressive as a freshman.
Yeah.
To kind of come in, play linebacker, you got to be tough, man, to play linebacker for Florida. I mean, you got to be tough. I mean, think about it. It's not like you're playing linebacker for, no offense, but it's not COD. It's the University of Florida.
Speaking of COD, they still have their football program.
They still have a football program. I mean, talking about COD, I have to get to that. With all the changes, man, around with football lately, Joliet Junior College, they lose their football program, and then And then Harper College, they shut their football program down. And so I think everyone was kind of thinking, COD's probably next in line. It's not a revenue-generating sport for them in terms of it doesn't pay for itself.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a junior college, it's expensive to move kids around, to move, I won't say kids, to move young men around and get them, they got to play Iowa and Minnesota. They go back and forth a couple of games a year, one there, one here. But, those travel expenses to move everybody, and in today's day and age, man, with the economy.
Do they fly or they take the bus or what?
I doubt they fly.
No, Southwest?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're flying
Bags
anywhere.
are free? Sure, we're going to fly to Southwest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got a lot of bags when you're moving a college football team. I mean, let me tell you. But bottom line is it's sad to see it, get to that point where, I mean, one thing I think I'll say about COD and probably all the football programs that are out there, especially at the junior college level, is, I think they said that they had like 30-plus players this year move on to a 4-year school, transfer to a 4-year school. So I guess if you're a football player and your academics aren't necessarily there yet and you need a little help on the academic side, those junior colleges are great breeding grounds.
Oh, yes, they are.
I mean, you can talk about the other Stingley. I mean, we've talked about him before, Byron Stingley, and now he's a Tennessee Titan. But he went to Joliet Junior College and then went to Louisville and then, now he's in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's not there, how many people are being, left off? I mean, how many people have to stop their dream at the high school level? So, and you just never know. You might have an NFL football caliber player there, but because of circumstances, whether it be academic, money, or otherwise, they never get to realize that dream. And I you say that all the time about, they got these talent shows all the time about music, right? Some, cell phone clerk or something, that belts out a Pavarotti song and it becomes famous. I mean, so
Pavarotti song, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Why not just croon old on a Sinatra song or
Yeah,
something?
well, you get-
Pavarotti, come on.
Well, Pavarotti, I mean, that's, what I'm saying is that there are hidden talents all over the place. And, I'm sure that, football season's over for the senior class this year, but a lot of them are starting to decide where they're going to go, who they're going to play for. And then the other ones that are there, if they're not doing this already, I'm telling you, you're making a mistake, but you got to hit the weight room. Hit the weight room. I mean, that's where you win championships. If you want to win. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing they said about Morrison. I read an article from a Florida paper, and I can't remember which paper it was, but I read an article about Antonio, and they just the coach had said, he's one of those types of players that not only does he have a great attitude and prepares himself well in the gym, he does it in the classroom too.
Yeah.
So I mean, football, in any sport for that matter, it's all about the preparation.
So they say.
For us, it's all about preparation H. But
Preparation H.
But for the kids, it's all about the preparation.
Okay. So what else we talking about in football?
Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit about St. Francis has brought in a couple of players. I've brought in a kid. In fact, I'm probably gonna have to put on my spectacles and become a spectacle. To read. But I had to put this down on paper because I won't remember all this stuff, in my head. But Ali Akil from Sandburg a couple of years ago played at Joliet Junior College. There's a great example of a kid that's played at the college level.
Did we film him?
Yeah, we filmed him. We got him on film, and of course, I'd have to dig through hours and hours to find it. But 6'5", 230-pound defensive end, all area, all conference at Sandburg. So a pretty stout young man, and he'll be playing for the Saints next year.
1 minute of film, huh?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
That's all you have to do. 1 minute's good.
Yeah, 1 minute's good. So we got a lot to cover, and then you also got Colton Burdett of Lockport Township. Mm-hmm. He's current senior there. He's committed to go and play there, and he's a 6'2", 220-pound center. So they got some size up front. They're going to pick another local kid up. And so lots to talk about football, but I don't know what we got so much to talk about when it comes to baseball and that kind of stuff, and basketball and lots of stuff. So
basketball, baseball.
Well, let's talk about bowling next. I mean,
bowling.
Bowling.
Why?
Well, because there's some good stuff going on. I mean, SBC championship was this past weekend, and there were some changes. I mean, It's always the same three at the top of that group. It seems like I mean, it's always Minooka, Oswego, and Romeoville. In fact, it's usually Oswego. Not necessarily in those order, but Oswego's usually the favorite to win, and they were the favorite again this year, and they didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
No, Minooka took it.
Minooka, huh?
Yep, Minooka won. I mean, Minooka was trailing, in the morning session, but came out in the afternoon session.
You think it was that 5-hour energy that they took, the train?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Monster? What? How do you come back at a bowling game? I don't understand.
Well, you gotta knock down so many pins. I mean, for you and I, we have the bumpers, so it doesn't.
Well,
really count.
it was the bumpers and a couple of Miller High Lifes that we go bowling.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here. It's
Yeah. I mean, we're not really caring about knocking down the pins. We're trying to keep our pins beneath us and keep upright.
That's right.
Yeah, so, but again, kudos to Minooka for winning the SBC championship. And, there were several kids that were named to the All-SBC team. Dakota Vostri of Romeoville earned his third straight All-SBC award. So, pretty impressive.
I bet you the football guys are in envy.
Yep. Ray Signaglio. I think I'm saying that, Ray. So if I'm not saying it right, my apologies. Brian Blair, and we know Brian and his parents, but, had a great, they were all named to the All-SBC. Eddie Passetti, Brandon Talley. He Romeoville.
Okay.
You remember Brandon, right?
I know.
I'm gonna tell you a story about Brandon. Okay, so just to bring it up, because every time that I ever have to bring this kid's name up, I'm always gonna refer to this. Cooperstown. I don't know, man. What was it? 2009, 2008. Cooperstown, 2008. This kid. We're trailing by 1, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th or bottom of the 7th, which was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And this kid knocked it over the fence. Home run. Never forget it. Never forget it, Brandon. I'm sure you probably don't forget it either, but that was a great experience, and that, to do that at Cooperstown too, the game on the line, knock that team from Texas back down to Texas and send them with the loss. That was awesome, But anyhow, Brandon, has had a great career at Romeoville as a bowler. Last year, all SBC squad went downstate last year. And just a great, great kid. So congratulations to everybody that made it down there. I mean, Plainfield North too. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. Plainfield North's Aaron Dunn won the tournament championship. That's the first time ever for a Tiger at Plainfield North. 1,356 points. So
pins?
Yeah.
How many games?
Well, I would imagine that's a 10-game spread. So not too shabby, huh? Yeah. Not too bad. Might be a little less,
Gotta be a little less because you're winning that state championship with a 136 pin average.
Oh,
come on, man! That's like me and you bowling.
Right. Maybe it's 8 games,
All right.
Yeah, it could be 8.
Maybe 4, probably 6.
Maybe 4. Yeah.
But he won.
Right, he won. Yeah, there you go. So we'll get into that, and we got lots of cool stuff to talk about. I mean, this is the first time that me and Coach Stone have been back together, in our tandem seats here. Strapping it in for another year, cheap seats. And, last time I saw you, we were at the Romeoville Christmas Classic basketball tournament. And we were stuffing our face with that chili.
Oh, the chili. I lied. Okay, it was good.
It was good stuff, man. Come on.
It was all right.
It was all right. So...
we give those booster ladies, big kudos at the Romeoville school. I mean, the boosters are top notch. Top notch,
yeah. It was a lot of fun, and the tournament itself, I think, was very successful.
Mm-hmm.
It was very competitive. A lot of great teams there, and I think that every year that they host that tournament, it's going to get better.
Yeah, the thing between games, you usually have your glitches. There was no glitches. One game ended, the other game started. I mean, it was like a 5-6 minute, in between game. I mean, everything was just top notch.
Yeah. It was smooth.
Give Jimmy Berderis over there a lot of credit.
Yep. I mean, he does a good job. I mean, they all do a good job,
Mm-hmm.
Even, I mean, getting into a game like that, you get to see some teams that maybe are struggling a little bit. I mean, Joliet Catholic was struggling a little bit coming into this tournament. Mm-hmm. Romeoville certainly struggling a little bit when they came into the tournament, and they were hosting it. Plainfield Central just starting to get their wings underneath them, their legs underneath them in a really tough basketball conference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the SBC... And the Southwest Suburban Blue Conferences are two very, very, very tough basketball conferences this year. I mean, Joliet West and Bolingbrook played on Friday night. It was a 1-point game. Bolingbrook squeaked it out. West beat Bolingbrook earlier in the year. Bolingbrook squeaked it out 66-65. I mean, they're, Joliet Central beat Lockport. Joliet Central's only lost one time all season to a conference team.
Yeah.
And Joliet Central's not a team that you typically put way up here. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of size. They're a relatively small team in terms of looking at their squad, but man, they just keep winning ball games. And you got to give kudos to the Steelman coach, because right now, I mean, he's got these kids dialed in. So basketball's been phenomenal. Plainfield East, the girls, man, they're having another Plainfield East season. They just can't be stopped. They beat Romeoville. They beat Romeoville on a last-second inbounds pass. Gabby Williams, laid one in at the buzzer with, I think there was less than a second. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a 0.7 of a second or something like that. It was enough to catch and let go. Yeah. And that's what she did, and beat Romeoville. But those teams are headed for a crash against each other. And the Bolingbrook girls, I don't know, maybe this is a rumor. I haven't, been able to verify this, but I heard this weekend this past weekend that Bolingbrook has a transfer that will be eligible to play, and she's supposed to be pretty good, that she'll be eligible to play by playoff time. So,
where's she transferred from?
I don't know. So, somebody, I think they were telling me Missouri or something like that. She transferred up here from Missouri. So, you can't count Bolingbrook out. They haven't had they have 4 losses right now, which is not something that we're used to seeing with Bolingbrook. Usually Bolingbrook's got 1, maybe 2 losses, and they just roll.
Not a typical Tony Smith team, huh?
Well, no, it's a typical Tony Smith team because he's doing a hell of a job coaching. You're playing against some of the best teams in the country. I mean, 2 of those losses were out-of-state teams. Maybe 3 of those losses were out-of-state teams. So, I mean, the bottom line is that the Raiders are not as dominant, or at least on paper, they're not as dominant. And Plainfield East looks pretty dominant. I mean, Plainfield East is having their way right now, and they're confident. So I'm excited to see how the girls' basketball season kind of comes to a fruition here. I mean, we're getting to the point where the next month is really going to determine.
How much time do you think the next month has?
I don't even think it's the next month. I think you're going to have a pretty good, clear idea of who's going to win the conference over the next 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of time on the clock.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, so we'll see. I mean, let's talk a little bit about Bolingbrook, though. Again, Bolingbrook, Lincoln Way East play each other this week, so that ought to be a hell of a scrap.
Where are they playing?
At Bolingbrook. Ooh. Yeah, so that ought to be a really good scrap.
What time's the game?
7.
7?
Well, I'm sorry, 6:30.
6:30.
Game starts at 6:30, so. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to miss that game. I think that's going to be the game of the season. I want to see Romeoville and Plainfield East play. I didn't get to see them in the tournament when they played each other, because I think that's going to be a phenomenal game to watch. And I definitely want to see Lincoln Way East and Bolingbrook play each other. And you can bring, you can join me. I mean, you live in the Brook.
Yeah. I broke home with the most expensive pizza that I ever ordered at one of the pizza establishments. A large 3-topping artesian crust pizza for $35 freaking delivery. That's all I got to say about that. Just like Forrest Gump. Holy Toledo!
Well, hey man, I mean it's expensive to make pizza now.
I thought I was living in Naperville or something. It's just the Brook pizza, the Brook.
So well, I mean, and then I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that just sit at home and make it, or I'll get Fat Ricky's.
I'll just get it now. From now on, Tony.
I get Fat Ricky's, or I'll.
From now on, Tony's Supreme Pizza in the oven, 350. It's over. 15 minutes. You get that?
Yeah. No, I mean, but let's talk. I guess moving forward here, we're going to be covering a lot of the playoff stuff and just kind of see how the season comes to a fruition with basketball. But we got to get right back into football. I mean, Cheap Seats was built for football, and
yeah, as you could tell, basketball, we're not really very excitable, are we? I mean, it's basketball, okay. It's basketball. I mean, how can you get excited about basketball?
Well, I can get excited about football.
Yeah, football's football.
We definitely we're going to get out to some of the weight rooms and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Who's your coach of the year this year and why?
Oh, we're announcing the awards?
We got to announce the awards.
We can't keep that a secret for another 6 months.
No, who's your coach of the year?
Who's my coach of the year? Of course, the Bennett coach. Of course.
Okay, we got to go back to that.
I don't know who the Bennett coach is.
I was
but
thinking the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck's that guy's name?
What, you thinking I know?
Yeah, that's why I was asking you.
Yeah, okay. Who's your coaching? How the hell am I supposed to know?
You were out there. You saw him.
Tony interviewed him, okay?
Okay, well, I mean...
I didn't think Lincoln Way East was going to throw me under the bus, all right?
Bennett football coach. Oh, let's see. Patrick New. Okay. So I'm going to say again. I'm going to say here, who's your coach there?
Patrick New?
Yeah, Patrick New.
Like New Orleans or New?
Yeah. So I just said, who's your coach of the year?
Why, Patrick Noon of the Bennett Academy, of course. He took a 1-8 team, turned it around to an 8-1 team. Romeoville, hint. Coach Kuna, you out there? It can be done, okay? It can be done. Reason why I say Romeoville, because Romeoville is our guys. It's our town. We want to see Romeoville succeed. Back to the show.
Back to the show. Well, I'll tell you what. It was a pretty easy pick for me, too. I did the same thing. I said, Patrick New was definitely our coach of the year, my coach of the year, your coach of the year. And it's really simple. You go from 1-8 to 8-1, in the regular season. You beat Downers Grove North on the road. I just think, obviously they ran into Lincoln Way East, and Lincoln Way East was a team of destiny last year to get downstate, and those are your boys. But and I still think that Bennett had a great season.
Of course it did.
And to take a team like that, largely of kids. I mean, obviously he had some returning players. He had some returners. He had some people to work with. They hit the weights hard, bigger, stronger, faster, better schemes, and maybe the ball bounced their way a few times this year. But you can't explain away 1-8 to 8-1 without looking at the coach. You can't. I mean, you just can't. You can go 5-4. 6-3 and win a state championship the next year, and that isn't all coaching. I mean, coaches can take a lot of credit for it, but it's not all coaching. But when you go from worst to first in one season, dude, that's all coaching.
Coaching, of course.
That's all coaching. And it's not just Patrick New. If we could, we give the whole staff the Coach of the Year trophy because it takes an entire staff on their sidelines. Their offensive line coach, their quarterback coach, their receivers coaches, their defensive coaches. I mean, there's a lot of ingredients in a good bowl of chili.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, they made a hell of a run this year. And
one game before state. I mean, they lost in semifinals.
Yep. And I mean, beating Downers North. I mean, I got to tell you something. I was really close to going with Downers North on this Coach of the Year thing, and that was the difference with that game. And I mean, we got that on tape, and I know that if you're a Trojan fan, you're going to say he was out of bounds on that last play, but he wasn't. He was in bounds. It was a great catch. It was a great comeback victory for them. And, it was just an amazing turnaround for the Red Wings, who, honestly, Bennett football, with all due respect, has not been a dominant, long-time powerhouse in football, especially when they're playing with the likes of Joliet Catholic.
Montini, K3, Montini, too.
Right, Montini, too. And, I mean, listen, Montini's coach, Chris Angelucci, is just amazing. Absolutely amazing coach, and we'll catch up with him. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, dude. That's all there is to it. I mean, he's Coach of the Year every year. But, when it's all said and done, it's not about who got the trophy at the end of the season. It's who took their team and got the most out of them. And honestly, I don't think there's anybody that will doubt Bennett. So congratulations, Mr. Coach New, and what a great season. We hope that this coming year there's going to be more of it. You're going to you got a few things up your sleeve for these guys, and that they're in the weight room right now, and I'm sure they are thinking we fell one game short of the state championship, not next year. So congratulations, but you're going to have to go through Downers Grove North to get there.
Oh Jesus! No.
Hey, Downers North is coming next season. Downers North is going to be the team to watch. That's it, man.
You think so?
They are definitely going to be the team to beat.
I'm looking at it. You got any whiskey in it there or something, or what? What are you drinking?
Man, I'm telling you.
What are you drinking?
Downers Grove North is going to be the team to watch next year. Mark my words. You heard it here first, right here on Roosters. Preseason pigskin picks.
Oh my God. No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
moving right along.
All right. So moving right along. All right. Let's go with your defensive player of the year.
Well. Got a little Kyle Vanderhoff of Lincoln Way East, Caleb Bailey of Romeoville, and Clifton Webb of Plainfield.
Clifton Garrett.
Clifton Garrett Webb, same thing.
No.
Clifton Garrett, Clifton Webb.
Clifton, you ought to kick his tail, man. If you see him in the dark alley, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna. What are you? Okay, what are you gonna get for kicking an old man's ass? Okay, there you go. All right, but I think my defensive player of the year, he's got to be all everything. It's Caleb Bailey in Romeoville. I mean, their defense gave up like 6,000 points a game. I mean, he was all over the field. He was running the ball, throwing the ball, tackling people. I mean, he was all over the field. He's got to be the defensive player of the year.
You know what? Again, we fall right in line in this, and we didn't script this either, by the way. This was definitely not a scripted thing, but I'm exactly in the same point. I've seen a lot of linebackers, a lot of great ones. Clifton Garrett, definitely a great linebacker, and Kyle Langendorfer, pound for pound, the best linebacker out there, pound for pound. But that said, Caleb Bailey absolutely is my choice for defensive player of the year. I mean, Caleb played. He had to play offense. They gave him the ball. I mean, they just don't take your best athletes off the field, especially when you're lacking depth off the bench. You got to play these guys. This guy's playing a minimum of 3.5 quarters a game, and he's still able to get to the ball, play defense. I got to see Romeoville a couple of games last year, and I didn't get to see a ton, but I saw an awful lot on film, and I was able to sit down and kind of go through the films and kind of pick out who I thought were going to be the kids to really focus on, and I'm telling you what, Bailey, by far, no offense to the other guys that are out there that were good players, because they are, but Bailey, by far, was the guy. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't know where he's going to college yet. He hasn't announced. But wherever he goes, he's going to be a star. Mm-hmm. That kid's going to be a star. Not number one because of his personality. When he's off the field, great smile from the kid. Very, and I won't say kid anymore. I'm going to start calling these guys young men because that's what they are. They're graduating high school. But this young man is, he is the epitome of a college football player. I think he's ready for the next level, and I can't say enough about him. He led the team in tackles, and he hit the bench, the weights, hit the classroom hard. He just did everything right, and despite getting beat up on, Romeoville. Let's face it, Romeoville got beat up on this year. Despite that, I never seen that kid come off the field hanging his head. Never. He gave 100% no matter what the score was. And so for that, Caleb Bailey, you're our Defensive Player of the Year for 2012. And, hey, it was great to watch you, but we're not done watching you. I'm sure, like Antonio Morrison, maybe next year we're going to be watching you play in the
Gator Bowl?
No, maybe in the Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl?
Rose Bowl for U of M. Go to Michigan.
Aloha Bowl? What?
Yeah. Well, Aloha Bowl.
The Tostito Bowl? What bowl are you going to be in?
Yeah, well, he's going to be in one of those bowl games, but I'll tell you what, wish him the best of luck. I think we're going to hear big things from him down the road in the sport of football at the next level. Definitely a D1 candidate. And but that said, I also want to quickly shout out to Clifton Garrett, because I think Garrett had a great season as well.
Of course he did.
And Clifton's going to have a great career at the next level too. And they were both phenomenal linebackers to watch. They were just game breakers. They were game changers, and it was fun to watch them. So, all right, so this is our last one, right? Well, you don't do the drum roll.
Hey.
I can't.
Hey.
There you go. I'm going to get you some.
Hey, I want to go home.
All right, man. All right, give us your player of the year for offense.
Well, player of the year for offense, you gotta throw Tommy Fuso Homewood Flush.
Oh!
See what they did to me? See what they did to me?
Oh,
Lincoln Way East. I'm sorry. Tommy Fuso, Lincoln Way East, quarterback. You gotta put Aaron Bailey, Bolingbrook, quarterback up there, along with Stouffer. You gotta put, of course, Ty Isaac. Ty Isaac's press. I gotta throw Ty Isaac's press man up here before he gets mad. But my offensive player of the year, he took that team farther than anybody expected, would be Tommy Crazy Legs Slinky Guy Fusel, of Lincoln Way East. He was just all everything. There was nobody on the whole season except Wheaton. Was it Glenbard North? I forgot. I bowled.
Yeah.
Glenbard was West.
Glenbard West.
West.
West, north, south.
South, east, west. One of the Glenmar
They
schools.
only won the championship.
Yeah, they won, but they shut him down. Shut him down.
They did.
Shut him down. I mean, but he was all everything. I mean, he made that team go. I mean, running, passing. I mean, you got to give him the offensive player of the year.
Well, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of funny because did you say Lincoln Way West?
I think I said Homewood Flossmoor.
Homewood Flossmoor is even worse, man, dude. I mean, that's total disrespect of.
Hey, I'm moving on now. Okay, moving on. And maybe Homewood Flossmoor is going to be my next team next year. Who knows? I'm moving on.
Moving on. So I don't know. I mean, I got to agree with you. I mean, I was really torn between this because you know how much I like Ty Isaac, and but Ty Isaac this season was hurt a lot. You know, the bottom line is I think Ty Isaac is the best high school football player in the state of Illinois. That's what I believe, and I think following him up is Aaron Bailey. I think he is again, but both of these players were hurt. I mean, they sustained injuries. They were out for a lot, and so it would have been not as easy a pick for me. Had those two players, been at full strength, for the whole season. But Isaac missed too many games. Aaron Bailey missed too many games. And injuries happen. That's part of the game, But those two players in particular, make no mistake about it, they're going to be superstars. Superstars. Aaron Bailey's going to go to Illinois. And, I don't know if he's going to stay at quarterback, but he's going to go to Illinois, and he's going to do some great things at Illinois. And if he is the quarterback, I think you're going to see Illinois start to build up. I don't know that one man is going to win at the Division I level, especially in the Big Ten, but I do think that Aaron Bailey's going to have an outstanding season, career at Illinois. And then you got Ty Isaac, who's running off to USC.
Still going? I thought he wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I think he's pretty sure he's still going to USC. So. You got that going on, and then you got Tommy Fusel, who's going to be in the Big Ten as well. He's going to Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to join Tyler Lancaster from Plainfield East this year, and Malin Jones from JCA last year, who's up there now. I mean, so Northern Illinois, Northwestern Illinois, is starting to grab some key players, but definitely, to make a long story short, even if those players were involved, I don't know that they would have overtaken my vote for Tom Fusel. And I agree with you. I think Tom Fusel, without a doubt, was the player of the year. Offensively, he was electric. He was a leader. He was confident. And, that kid took a licking in the state championship, and he kept coming. And so, I guess, I would have liked to seen Lincoln Way East win the state championship last year. I think it would have been a crowning achievement for a team, and I mean this wholeheartedly, a team that was one of the best I ever saw.
Yeah, they were up there. They were good.
They were up there. They were one of the best high school football teams I ever saw.
They were fun to cover. All kidding aside, fun to cover.
They were fun to cover. They didn't get blown out. Glenbard West, though, and I said this before the playoffs, and I said this, when they first made those brackets, I had those two teams in that state championship all the way through because they were clearly the best two teams there, and the best two teams played each other, and it was a heck of a game, 10-8. I mean, what are you coughing for? You got the flu?
Yeah.
The flu's going around now.
I've got it again. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I remember you had the flu, a few weeks ago, and then I got it, and you got it, and
we might be another 2-3 weeks before you see us again. So keep those viewerships coming.
Yeah, no, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, now we're getting busy on the new year and getting back.
Is it 2013?
It's 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can tell you get a little bit grayer.
Yeah.
2014, you won't have no gray hair left in that.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm growing it back.
Yeah.
She says I don't look good with a clean shaven face.
There you go. So there you go. Grow it back. You got 359 days left until you got Christmas again. You can play Santa Claus next year.
I played Santa Claus this year. You should see the pictures. It's great.
I did.
Family.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see it on Facebook?
No, I didn't see it on Facebook. But I saw it on cheat sheets.
I was Santa Claus with the family at Facebook. Yeah, it was good.
Well, like I say, Tom Fusel, congratulations, Tom, to you and your family, and to the Lincoln Way East fans, and I'm sure Northwestern is going to start coming up, but all I got to say is go blue.
Yeah, Northwestern, Tommy Fusel.
Blue!
Don't be surprised if you see us on the sidelines, okay?
Yeah, we will be on the sidelines because every time Michigan comes to that school up north, I like to come and see them.
Tommy, with the Northwestern guys up there, if you're listening, when Michigan comes in, kick their stinking
ain't gonna happen.
Big boy. I've been hearing "Go Blue" since for the last year. Go Blue, go Blue. Yeah. I've been getting Michigan stuff for Christmas. Okay, come on.
Hey, once a Wolverine, always a Wolverine, and
God bless you.
So go Wolverines. But in any event, Tom Fusel, we're very happy for you. Thanks for making our season great. It was a lot of fun to watch you, and thanks for not winning the last game because I didn't want him to have no jersey anyhow.
Yeah.
I would have to compete with that. Now I still got the only jersey, man.
Yeah. So. There's always Brent Fusel, okay?
Who?
Brent Fusel.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Brent.
I'm sure we're never going to hear his name again unless you bring it up.
I'm sure we will.
So anyhow, hey, it was a great season. We have a lot to get moving on. I mean, we've got a lot of plans for cheap seats this year. I mean, you got minor league baseball that we're going to be jumping into, and some college football stuff that we're going to be jumping into here pretty soon, and some football camps that are coming up, and there's going to be a lot of recruiting news that's going to be coming out over the next, I would say 3 to 4 weeks. We'll start hearing a little bit more stuff about where people are going, and you get the first 5, 6, 7, 10 superstar high school players that pick right away, but there's a lot of kids that are on the fence right now, and so hopefully we'll get some more news there. Also, coaching changes. We still haven't heard about Downer South yet. We don't know who's going to take over that program. We don't know where Coach Belskis is going to land, if he's going to coach next season or not. I will tell you straight up that John Ivelo is not leaving Bolingbrook High School, that he's staying at Bolingbrook High School, and however it worked out, his son will be his youngest son will be a freshman next year at Bolingbrook, and so he's going to stay at Bolingbrook High School. So you're not going to see a coaching change there. I'm interested to see what's going to happen here. I think a lot more is going to come out once you hit the month of February, because you're only we're 120 days away from football once you hit February.
Yeah. And
that's not a lot of time in a weight room. I mean, you can 90 days in a weight room, you can get a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, but you need a full year to do it. So I'm sure everybody's out in the weight room. We'll get out there and see you guys. But again, lots to cover. We want to thank you for joining us, Coach Tone. Any last minute words of wisdom for your two fans?
My two fans?
Yeah, the two fans in Lincoln Way East.
Well, any last bit of words of wisdom, all I just got to say is rooster, rooster, everybody loves the rooster. We had 37 hits last year, and I'm sure 7 of them were for the rooster, and 30 of them were for me. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
We're not going away. We're going to keep doing it every year. It's what we like doing, right?
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's a good response there, Coach Tone.
Okay.
So anyhow, hey, seriously, on a serious note, though, we want to thank you for joining, and hopefully Coach Lovey Smith, quick shout out to you, Coach Lovey. You saw my article this week.
Yeah, what a kiss butt.
I wanted a kiss butt.
Lovey Smith. He's the greatest coach. He couldn't take him to the next level. He can get him from point A to point B. You got to get him from point A to point B to point C, just like Ozzie Guillen did with G. Lamont back in the day when the Sox. Ozzie took him from point B to point C. You need someone to take the Bears from point B to point C. Phil Emery doing a great job as a GM. Keep it up.
And on another note, are you who are you going to get for the Bears coach now?
I'm sure you put your name in for everything else. I'm sure you can put your name in for the Bears coach.
I'll tell you right now, I think I would make a good coach for the Bears.
Hey, make like this, there you go. Give that smug look.
Didn't get the first down.
Uh-huh.
All right, man. Well, hey, listen, we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining us. If you got any news to share with us, remind you to shoot us an email or catch us on Facebook. Do you got a Facebook page yet, by the way?
Share some exciting news, because this is pretty.
Did you get a Facebook page yet?
I got my own personal Facebook page.
Okay, but you need a Big Tone Facebook page, because they can't.
Oh, you want me to get a Facebook page?
Yeah, you got to get a Facebook page.
Okay.
All right, man. So anyhow, Facebook us or catch us online. You can shoot us an email, rooster@southwestsportsnest or swsportsnest.com. go ahead and shoot us an email, and we'll get out to you. Other than that, man, we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for joining us. Had a good time. We'll see you next week right here on Cheap Seats.
Cheap Seats next week, everybody. Have a nice weekend and stay safe out there.
It's been a production of SouthwestSportsNest.com, home of the playmakers and game changers. Remember, do your best. Get on the nest.